Throughout our lives, we have all had to face at least one major obstacle that has helped to inform us into the person that we are today. As for me, I've been dealt a life full of them. Already have. Amongst all the obstacles I've had to face, the most challenging would include being born with a ependymoma tumor that was malignant. Through sharing this experience with all of you, you'll know how it led to my being in a wheelchair, what that's been like for me, and how I overcame it all. As early as 6 months old, my mom knew that something was wrong, but doctors seemed to have ignored it. For each of my monthly checkups, I was assigned a different doctor, all of whom were unable to read the handwritten notes of each of the previous doctors. Time and time again, my mom provided my doctors with the symptoms I was experiencing, but each and every one of them pushed it off as spina bifida. Therefore, for the first 16 months of my life, the tumor had gone unnoticed. By that point in time, the tumor had grown outside my spinal fluid sac and wrapped itself around the full length of my spine, kidneys, bladder, everything. It became one of the largest doctors had ever seen on a child of my age and size. Despite the severity of it all, I was given an 80% chance of walking and a 20% chance of being wheelchair bound. Unfortunately, when receiving the much needed surgery, doctors were unable to tell where the tumor ended and where it never started. Therefore, I'm now paralyzed from the waist down, wheelchair bound, and have never known what it was like to walk a day in my life. Though not many of you, if any, are able to raise your hands and say that you are able to understand what that must be like, you're about to get a bit of an idea. Close your eyes, let your mind relax, and reflect back on your childhood memories. Imagine being a kid again, running around and playing in the yard, the summer breeze brushing against your face, and the grass gently pressing against your feet. Such a wonderful memory, isn't it? Unlike the rest of you, I've never known what it was like to experience something as simple as a touch of grass against my feet and being able to describe that feeling all on my own. All the little things that one may take for granted are all the things that I desperately long for. Not to mention on numerous occasions, I've even had to miss out on events such as school trips for the simple fact that the facility may not be as handicap accessible as it should have been. Though there are a plethora of other reasons why a disabled individual cannot attend such events, whether or not a facility is handicap accessible is reason enough to take the joy and excitement out of it all. Now that you know a bit more about my background, let me tell you about the first time I got to share my life story. This occasion took place at an elementary school in my hometown on April 12, 2012. There were several groups of kids to come and go, ranging from the ages of 4 through 9. At the end of each session, I made sure to reserve about 5 to 10 minutes for the kids to ask me questions. When taking questions from the first group of kids, I was completely blown away. The first question of the day was from a little boy in the front row who asked me, "Can someone donate a leg?" It took everything in me to keep from crying because I knew the answer was more than likely no. But I didn't want to tell him that. Though the possibility of someone donating the leg would require a lot of trial and error to make it work, he could very well be the one to make it happen. A few weeks after going to speak with them, I received a super thick envelope in the mail from the school's principal. Inside were cards from some of the kids telling me how they learned cancer was bad. It was in that moment when I bursted into tears, knowing that I did something good and very well could have aided in changing the way they view others. From that moment on, my life was changed forever, and I never fully understood what it meant to do good for others until that day. And I actually brought them in for you all today, and this one was probably my favorite. It was from a little girl, and she wrote, "Dear Kinsey, I enjoyed your talk about when you said you got to go to Cardinal Hill. My little sister named Alyssa, that is 2. She can't walk or crawl. She will be in a wheelchair. I learned so much from you." And she drew a picture of the 2 of us. And for the last 7 years, I devoted my life to putting the needs of others before my own to the best of my abilities. Today, I will be sharing with you one of the main things that I've done to ensure that happens. In late August to early September of 2012, I got the crazy idea to organize and host a Stomp Out Cancer Walkathon and refused to take no for an answer from my mom. Nearly 8 months later, on April 21st, 2013, the crazy idea came to life. With the love and support of so many, I managed to reach my goal of raising $5,000 for the cancer department at the Kentucky Children's Hospital. When being interviewed by Georgetown, Kentucky News Graphics for an online article they posted on July 27th, 2013, my mom made the statement, "Kenzie has a very special place in her heart for children going through cancer treatment and or surgery." I won't argue with her there. And what hurts me most is seeing other little kids in wheelchairs knowing that they're going through the same stuff that I had to. Now that you know a bit more about me and the obstacles I have faced, please note that I do not tell you any of this as a way of gaining your sympathy or for you to see me as a victim. I tell you this as a reminder that despite what we have faced, and no matter what anyone else says, we are all absolutely perfect the way we are. We are worth fighting for. We are all priceless, and more importantly, we are loved in every single way. Therefore, when you walk out of here today with a better understanding of who I am or not, promise me that you will not let your past be what defines you. Be the person you wish to see in the world. Be the person you have always wanted to be, and not the person others have made you out to be. Hi, my name is Kenzie Roark, and this is me.